So in this video, we're gonna be going over my top 5 exercises when it comes to building your back, right? With back, there's kind of 2 sections of it. Half the training usually is with back thickness and the other half is with back width, okay? So typically I'll split my workouts, my back workouts into kind of some sort of rows and some sort of pull downs. Because again, pull downs, pull-ups work more back width, and things like your rows will do more back thickness. So I have some sort of combination of obviously both rows and pull-ups or pull downs. So usually the first exercise I do is, usually the biggest one is either some sort of big compound row or lats pull down. So today I'm going to show you, we're going to start off with lat pull downs. Again, making sure, similar to the chest video, making sure your scapula is retracted, okay? So here, you're going to grab the bar, and instead of just kind of being here, again, you want to retract your scapula, so here, and really bring, and making sure you're flexing your lats here. So all the way up, get the stretch, bring it down, and squeeze. Because if you don't retract your scapula, you can imagine here, then your shoulders start to creep forward, and your back's not nearly as engaged. Okay, so again, really important, retract your scapula. And what I mean by retracting your scapula is almost pinching your shoulder blades together, okay? So instead of a flat, bring it back, and then bring it down and squeeze. Up, and squeeze. So that's usually what I start the workout off with when it comes to either this or pull-ups. So typically when I start with lat pull down or pull-ups, I instantly do make sure my second exercise is some sort of row, or vice versa. If you start with a row, then go over to pull-ups or pull downs, just so you're working different muscle fibers in your back. So one of my favorite rowing exercises is the dumbbell row, okay? This one's nice because you can get a full range of motion, full squeeze, and full stretch. And again, this is probably one of the best exercises to build back thickness, okay? So with this, the thing you want to keep in mind is pulling with your elbow, right? So when you're doing the row, try and bring your elbow as far back behind your back as possible, because that will give you maximal contraction in your lats, okay? So instead of moving with your wrist, again, pull with your elbow, bring your elbow as high as possible, and that'll give you maximal contraction, okay? So with this, again, another thing is making sure your back is straight. You don't have an arched back. Keep your back straight, and then I kind of like to bend over. I feel a much more powerful position. Grab the weight, and again, pull with your elbow, and bring your elbow as far back behind your back as possible. So here, full stretch, and squeeze. Here, and squeeze. Full stretch, and squeeze. So my fourth staple exercise when it comes to my back workouts, I basically do this one every single back session, is some sort of pullover. Whether that be what I'll show you now, a cable pullover or a dumbbell pullover. I typically do this after my rows, after my pull-ups, after my pull downs, because it is more of a stretching movement. So again, you're gonna get a big stretch in this exercise, allowing for more blood flow to enter your lats, enter your rhomboids, and just get an overall amazing pump. So this is kind of like the pump finisher I usually save for the end of my back session. So with this, it is quite technical. So the biggest thing, again, making sure your back is straight. I would lean over. I would either grab, you can use different variations for this, kind of whatever you feel works the best. Between easy bar, straight bar, you can also use a rope. Again, I would play around with the 3 and see what you feel activates your back the most. So here I'm gonna be using easy bar. So again, kind of leaning forward. And the biggest thing here is when you bring the bar down, you want to bring your chest up, okay? So as you'll see here, instead of going like this, because here you're barely working out, you're barely working your lats. Here, you want to bring your chest up. Here, and bring your chest up, okay? Here you're getting full stretch, and here you're getting full squeeze, okay? So that is maximal contraction, making sure you bring your chest up as you bring the bar down. Here, chest up, boom. I would even actually lower this slightly. You don't want to be going too high here. Yeah, that's even much better. Full stretch and full squeeze. So again, I love this exercise because you get amazing pump. You really feel your back kind of blow up. And you get an awesome stretch throughout this movement. And the final exercise that I like to finish off my back workouts with is shrugs, okay? Believe it or not, shrugs, your traps are part of your back and not your shoulders, okay? Your trap muscles actually extend all the way down your back. They're a lot bigger than just what you see above the shoulders. And so I always do this on my back days and not my shoulder days. Okay, so fairly basic exercise. I'll show you guys two variations that I like to do. One with dumbbell and one with barbell. And again, just making sure you guys are getting a squeezing as hard as you can at the top, full stretch and squeeze, okay? So again, fairly simple. Grab the weights, I'll do it from the side here. And I would have, again, retract your scapula so it's not like this. Bring your chest out, retract your scapula, bring the dumbbells up and squeeze, hold, back down. Squeeze, hold, back down. Bring your chest up, retract scapula, squeeze, hold. And now another variation of shrugs that I actually prefer is one where on the barbell. The reason is because you can kind of pull from the back, and when you pull from the back versus the front, you get more of a stretch. So the range of motion is a little bit bigger with barbell than with dumbbell at times. So besides that, everything's the exact same. Making sure you're coming up, squeeze, hold, and then get full stretch. So when I do it, again, I always go in front of the barbell because when you're holding from the back, your range of motion is going to be a little bit bigger by default. So again, grabbing the barbell, back straight, chest out, bring it up and squeeze. Full stretch, up and squeeze. Full stretch. And that is shrugs. And another staple back exercise is, of course, the cable rows. Again, I pretty much do this every single back workout, or at least some variation of row, whether it be dumbbell row or cable row, okay? So this one is pretty easy to execute. Main things you want to focus on is bringing your elbow, again, driving with your elbow, bring your elbow as far back, behind your back as possible. So you're gonna grab the handle here, and again, try not to move your back, like don't try to swing with your back. Keep your back straight, only drive with your elbows. So here, it's okay to come up a little bit and get the full stretch in your lats. Here, and bringing your elbows as far back as possible, holding it for a sec, and back down, full stretch, and squeeze. But for the most part, my upper body is not really moving that much. Yeah, again, you don't want to be like this, okay? Because then you're not getting nearly as much tension as when you're like this. Squeeze, full stretch, and squeeze. And one variation of this, so again, if you're someone that's a little bit more advanced, I would recommend this variation. This is a single hand unilateral row that gets much more stretch during the movement. So again, the range of motion is a little bit bigger because you're going unilaterally. So with this, instead of a two handle, you're gonna grab a one handle, something like this, which I think he's using it. So we're gonna grab just one handle, right? Attach it there. And with this, instead of sitting on the bench, you're actually gonna be going behind the bench, grabbing it, and then again here, full stretch, really opening up that lat, and then driving with your elbow all the way back, right? Full stretch, driving it back. And this is probably honestly one of my favorites of rowing exercises because you get tension throughout the entire movement on the concentric and the eccentric, and the range of motion is a lot bigger than versus if you're trying to do both at the same time. So again, making sure you're coming up forward, full stretch, bring it back, full squeeze. So with that one, I usually do like 8 to 10 per side, and I feel the pump I get from this is significantly better than the double-handed row. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, my top 5 staple exercises when it comes to back workouts. Again, making sure you're kind of splitting it up between back thickness and back width. So you're kind of working all angles, all muscle fibers in your back. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you here in the next one.